Your heart starts pounding the second you see an email from your boss. Your stomach drops before you even walk into a meeting. Your jaw tightens scrolling through the news. You're sitting in traffic, already late, and your chest feels tight for no clear reason. Here's the strange part. Your body cannot tell the difference between a rude email and an actual predator. Somewhere in your brain, a threat scanner fires off the exact same alarm, whether you're facing a deadline or a tiger. So why does your nervous system treat a text message like a life or death emergency? Why does your body treat stress like danger? This isn't just an email problem. It's happening across ordinary moments that look harmless on paper, but physically hijack you anyway, over and over, without your permission. And here's the real question worth sitting with. It's not why am I so stressed? It's why your body reacts to a rude email or a traffic jam with the exact same physical alarm it would use for an actual attacker. A person running from a tiger and a person reading a stressful email get the identical internal alarm. Only one of them is in real danger. Somewhere, your brain is confusing the two, and that confusion has a name. Deep inside your brain, tucked below all the parts responsible for language and logic and planning your week, sits a small almond-shaped structure called the amygdala. Its job is simple and singular. Scan for danger, not analyze, not interpret, just scan. And it does this scanning in milliseconds, faster than you can form a single conscious thought. Before you've read a single word of that email from your boss, before your eyes have even finished moving across the subject line, your amygdala has already flagged it. Your heart is reacting before your brain has translated the words into meaning. That's not a delay in your thinking. That's the alarm going off before the thinking even starts. This is the part that explains why you can't just talk yourself down in the moment. The amygdala fires before your thinking brain, the prefrontal cortex, gets any say in the matter. Picture two departments in the same building. One is fast, jumpy, and reacts on instinct. The other is slow, careful, and weighs context. In a threat response, the fast one doesn't wait for permission from the slow one. It acts first and sends a memo later. That's why your stomach can drop right before you walk into a meeting, before you've had a single conscious thought about what the meeting is actually about. Your body has already decided something is wrong, and your rational mind is still catching up, trying to figure out why it feels the way it does. Once that fast department fires, it doesn't just send a quiet notification, it triggers a full chemical cascade. Adrenaline floods your bloodstream. Your heart rate climbs to pump blood to your limbs faster. Digestion pauses, because breaking down lunch is not a priority when your body thinks it might need to run. Muscles tense, ready to react. This is the same sequence whether the threat is a predator in the grass or a headline on your phone. That jaw clenching while you scroll through stressful news, that's muscle tension from a body bracing for impact. That tight chest sitting in traffic when you're already late, that's your cardiovascular system gearing up for a fight or a sprint that is never going to happen. Your body isn't confused about what to do. It's doing exactly what it's designed to do. The problem is what it's responding to. And here is where the mismatch becomes obvious. This system was built a very long time ago, under very different conditions. It was built to catch predators in tall grass, sudden movement in the dark, the snap of a branch that might mean something is hunting you. It was never built to read context. It doesn't pause to consider whether the danger is a physical attacker or a passive-aggressive email from a coworker. It simply reacts to danger patterns and a rude message, a tight deadline, a moment before speaking in front of a room full of people. These all register as danger patterns. This is the exact contrast worth sitting with. A person running from a tiger and a person reading a stressful email get the identical internal alarm response. Same adrenaline, same heart rate spike, same tensed muscles. The only difference is that one of them actually needs to run. Which brings up an uncomfortable detail. If your body is preparing to run or fight, but there is no physical action to take, where does all of that energy go? You can't sprint away from an inbox. You can't throw a punch at traffic. So the body stays primed, keyed up, ready for a physical response that never arrives. This is why you can feel unable to relax for hours after a tense conversation, even long after the conversation itself has ended. The threat is over. The words have already been said. But your body is still holding the tension, like a smoke detector that went off and never got silenced, even though the smoke cleared minutes ago. In small doses, this system genuinely helps you. A single acute burst of this alarm can sharpen your focus, speed up your reaction time, prepare you to handle something difficult in the moment. That part isn't broken. The trouble starts when the alarm doesn't just fire once for a real present situation. It fires again and again for the same situation, replayed. Your brain doesn't always distinguish between a new threat and an old one, it's simply remembering. This is why you can find yourself lying awake at 3 in the morning, body still on high alert, heart rate still elevated, replaying an argument that happened hours earlier. Nothing new is threatening you in that bed. But your amygdala doesn't know the difference between reliving a threat and encountering a fresh one. It reacts to the memory the same way it reacted to the moment itself. And that is how one useful, fast, protective system, built to catch predators and keep you alive, starts wearing you down instead of helping you, simply by refusing to turn off. Here's the part that changes everything about how you see this reaction. Your body doesn't just have an alarm. It also has a way to stand down from that alarm. It just needs a clear enough signal that the danger has passed. That tight chest, that clenched jaw, that racing heart, none of that is permanent. It's not stuck. It's active, waiting, like a smoke detector still beeping because nobody has told it the fire is out. The system that turned the alarm on can also be told to turn it off. You just have to know how to send that message in a language your body actually understands. Your body doesn't speak in reassuring thoughts. Telling yourself to calm down rarely works because that message comes from the slow department, the thinking brain, and the alarm was never listening to that department in the first place. But there is one channel that talks directly to the fast system, your breath, specifically the way you exhale. Here's the move. 2 quick inhales through the nose, one right after the other, then 1 long, slow exhale through the mouth. That's it. It's called a physiological sigh, and the mechanics of it matter. The double inhale reinflates tiny collapsed air sacs in your lungs, and the long exhale that follows activates the exact branch of your nervous system responsible for signaling safety. It's the physical opposite of the sharp, shallow breathing your body does when it thinks it needs to run. You are, quite literally, breathing a different message into the same alarm system that just sounded off. Try it the moment tension rises. Right after you see that message from your boss and feel your heart pick up, before you even respond. 2 quick inhales, 1 long exhale. You are not arguing with your body. You are not overriding it. You are simply telling it, in the only dialect it understands, that the coast is clear. And here's something worth sitting with before you go looking for a fix. This reaction was never a malfunction. Your amygdala firing off at a nasty text or a tight deadline is not your body failing you. It's your body doing exactly what it evolved to do, protecting you fast and asking questions later. That jaw clenching at the news, that chest tightening in traffic, that's the same ancient system that once kept your ancestors alive, still faithfully doing its one job, just aimed at a world it was never designed for. You're not broken, you're just running old software on new hardware. Over the next week, notice what happens the moment you use the sigh after a stressful trigger. Not whether the stress disappears completely, that's not the promise here. Just notice whether the intensity shifts even slightly. Try it after the stomach drop, before a meeting. Try it after the tight chest in traffic. Notice if your shoulders drop half an inch, if your jaw unclenches slightly, if your breathing slows on its own after that 1 long exhale. You're not trying to eliminate the alarm system, you're just learning how to talk to it. Next time your heart races over something as small as an email, remember, your body still thinks it is dodging a tiger. It doesn't know the difference yet, but you do. And that 1 long exhale, slow and deliberate, is you finally telling it the coast is clear.